the thing about growth is it gets harder and harder. As you get bigger. You've been $1 billion company before. I guess you want to be that again. You said that silver is not going to do anything different for the rest of this year. What is your outlook on silver? Genuinely, what is your outlook on silver, and how do you prepare yourself for when it turns away?
Well, I think there are some inconvenient truths about silver. One of the most inconvenient truths about silver is that after a 7-year bear market, new mine supply approximately balances manufacturing or fabrication demand. And when investors come knocking for silver like they have in the last year, there is none. That's a really inconvenient truth. And so what has to happen? The silver price has to rise to equilibrate the market. And still, you're pulling new mine supply out of the ground. You can't do that in months. And it's not the primary silver producers who are the difference makers. We may help to set the price of silver at the margin, but the bulk of silver supply comes from copper, lead, and zinc and gold producers. And as a byproduct, they typically hedge it forward up to a year, sometimes 2 or more. So that silver's already sold. And you can't just build a copper mine in a year. You're talking about a 10-year cycle for most mines. So silver is that special metal that has a history as money, and then people forget it's money. It developed in the last 100 years industrial uses, which dominate now the demand for silver, which means that silver disappears and isn't held around necks or fingers or in vaults. Most of the silver is consumed in industrial applications. So monetary role, industrial role, and then there's this emerging new green role. And silver is truly a green metal. You can't have solar photovoltaic power without silver. You can't have electric vehicles without silver. It's not that they use a lot of silver, but then, my cell phone, which was one of the gadgets that drove the last revolution in the silver price, this is a 1/4 gram of silver in here. And there's certainly not enough silver to affect the price of the gadget, but there's no question there's enough gadgets to affect the price of silver since the year 2000. That was the last wave of demand growth. And now we're coming into a green revolution, and it'll be the current wave, the solar photovoltaic demand, the electric vehicle demand. If you look at the 10-year forecast for EVs, and the fact that each EV uses up to 2 ounces of silver just on all the electronic circuitry, not enough to recycle, but most definitely enough EVs forecast to have a dramatic impact on the price of silver. Last year, 55 million ounces went into conventional cars last year just for their electronic circuitry. Never mind EVs, just all cars. If you believe the 10-year forecast for EVs, that number has to triple just for automobiles. Where is the 100 million ounces going to come from? Yes, exactly.